Have you ever wondered why there are people who try to control you, manipulate you, dominate you, but they simply can't? Why does it seem like you have an invisible shield that protects you from those who want to limit your freedom? Why, when someone tries to put you in a box, you simply disappear like water through their hands? Today, you're going to discover something that will completely change the way you see your life and your sign. Because Pisces wasn't made to be controlled. It was created by God to be free, to flow, to exist beyond the chains that others try to put on. And in this video, I'm going to reveal to you the 20 divine protections that God gave exclusively to you, Pisces, so that no one, absolutely no one, can dominate you or take away that sacred freedom you carry in your soul. And I'll tell you something, protection number 13 is so powerful and so mysterious that when you hear it, you'll understand why Pisces have always been the freest, the most untamable, the most impossible to chain. So stay until the end, because each protection I'm going to reveal will show you how much God loves you, how much He cares for you, and why He made you exactly as you are. If you're Pisces, prepare to feel deep relief knowing you're not alone in this battle for your freedom. If you know a Pisces, you'll finally understand why it's so difficult, almost impossible, to hold them against their will. Before we begin, subscribe to the channel and leave that like so more Pisces can discover these truths that God kept especially for them. And don't forget to leave in the comments your date of birth and what country you're watching from. I love knowing who's on the other side receiving this message. Now yes, let's discover the 20 divine protections that make Pisces a free and uncontrollable soul. Protection number 20. God gave you an inner world so deep that no one can reach you there. Pisces, you don't just live in this physical world that everyone sees. God created you with an inner universe so vast, so rich, so deep that it's completely yours. No one can enter there without your permission. It's your sacred sanctuary, your divine refuge, the place where your soul breathes free. While others try to control you with external rules, with expectations, with pressures, you simply retreat to that inner world where no one has power over you. It's not escapism, it's divine protection. God knew this world would be hard on you, that your sensitivity would be misunderstood, that your depth would scare many. So He gave you this precious gift, a place inside you where you can be completely free, completely you, without masks, without explanations, without fear. When someone tries to control you, you don't fight, you don't yell, you don't rebel violently. You simply go to that inner world that God created just for you. And from there, nothing and no one can touch you. This is your first protection, and it's unbreakable. Protection number 19. God gave you the ability to feel true intentions before they manifest. Pisces, God didn't leave you defenseless in a world full of manipulators and controllers. He gave you a supernatural gift, a spiritual radar that detects hidden intentions long before they become actions. You know when someone approaches you with a fake smile. You feel when pretty words hide dark purposes. You perceive when someone wants to use you, limit you, lock you up even though they haven't taken the first step yet. It's not paranoia, it's divine protection working. God put in you this early warning system so you can walk away before the chains close. Many times you felt that unexplainable discomfort with certain people, and everyone told you that you were exaggerating, that you were distrustful. But later, with time, the truth was revealed, and it turned out your intuition was right. That intuition isn't yours. It's God speaking to you, protecting you, guiding you away from danger. That's why it's almost impossible to manipulate you. Because God gave you eyes that see beyond appearances, a heart that feels beyond words, a soul that recognizes truth even when it comes disguised as lies. Protection number 18. God created you without the need to follow the logic that enslaves others. While the world tries to control you with logical arguments, with reasons, with rigid structures, God freed you from that prison. He gave you the blessing of moving by intuition, by feeling, by divine guidance. You don't need things to make sense to the mind. You only need them to make sense to your soul. And that's a powerful protection because it means no one can convince you to do something your spirit rejects, no matter how logical it sounds. They can give you 1,000 reasons, 1,000 perfect arguments, but if your heart says no, you say no. Not because you're stubborn, but because God taught you to trust something deeper than human reason. He taught you to trust Him, His voice inside you, those whispers of the soul that guide you on paths logic would never understand. This protection makes you unpredictable to those who want to control you because you don't follow their rules. You don't play their game. You move in a spiritual dimension where external control simply doesn't work. And although many call you a dreamer, although they say you don't have your feet on the ground, the truth is your feet are on firmer ground than theirs, the ground of faith, of trust in God, of the freedom that comes from following the Spirit and not the world. Protection number 17, God put in you an insatiable thirst for emotional freedom that rejects any prison. Pisces, there's something in your soul that screams freedom with every beat of your heart. God created you this way, intentionally. He gave you this deep need, almost desperate to be free to feel, to express, to live your emotions without censorship or control. That's why when someone tries to tell you how you should feel, what emotions are right or wrong, something inside you rebels. It's not caprice, it's divine design. God knew your mission on this earth requires you to feel deeply, to experience life in all its emotional intensity. And to protect that mission, He gave you this imperious need for freedom that makes it impossible for anyone to control you emotionally. They can try to make you feel guilty for your tears. They can call you too sensitive. They can tell you to control your emotions. But you can't, not because you're weak, but because God made you strong in your sensitivity. Your emotional freedom is sacred, and God Himself defends it. That's why when someone tries to limit it, you simply walk away. There's no discussion, no negotiation. Your soul knows that betraying that freedom would be betraying the purpose God gave you. Protection number 16. God gave you the ability to disappear without explanation when your spirit needs it. This is one of the most mysterious and powerful protections God gave you, the ability to simply leave, to fade away, to disappear when something or someone threatens your peace. You don't need to give explanations. You don't need to justify yourself. You don't need to ask permission. God put in you this instinct of spiritual survival that allows you to abandon situations, relationships, places that drain your energy or limit your freedom. And you do it with special grace, without drama, without revenge, without resentment. You simply leave, like water that slips through fingers, like fog that dissipates with the sun. Those who try to control you are left confused, wondering what happened, where you are, why you left. But you're already far away, you're already safe, you're already free. This divine protection frustrates manipulators because they can't hold you. It doesn't matter how much they insist, how much they look for you, how much they try to make you feel guilty. God gave you invisible wings, and when you need to fly, you fly. And no one, absolutely no one, can prevent it. Because your freedom is more important than any external expectation. And God Himself confirms it every time you feel that call to leave. Protection number 15. God freed you from attachment to material things that enslave others. Pisces, one of the greatest protections God gave you is this: you don't need things to be happy. Possessions don't tie you down. Objects don't define you. Material riches don't control you. While others sell their freedom for a higher salary, for a bigger house, for a more luxurious car, you walk light because your treasure is elsewhere. God gave you the blessing of detachment, and this makes you uncontrollable because no one can buy you. No one can hold you with material promises. No one can lock you in a golden cage. You've rejected opportunities others would kill to have, not because you're foolish, but because your soul valued freedom more than money. You've left well-paid jobs because you felt your spirit was dying there. You've lived with little and been happy because you understand something the world doesn't understand. True wealth is in peace of soul, in freedom of spirit, in connection with God. This protection keeps you free from one of the heaviest chains that exist, materialism. While others are slaves to their possessions, you're free because you don't own anything you can't let go. And in that letting go is your power. Protection number 14. God taught you the art of silent distancing that confuses those who want to dominate you. There's something you do naturally, and that's pure divine protection. You can be physically present, but emotionally miles away. God gave you this ability to withdraw internally without moving from the place. You're there, you smile, you nod, you respond when they talk to you. But your soul already went to another place, to a sacred space where no one can reach you. This protection deeply confuses those who try to control you because they don't know how to fight an enemy that doesn't fight, a presence that becomes absence without moving. They try to manipulate you emotionally, but they can't find where to grab you because you're not there emotionally anymore. It's like trying to catch air with your hands. God gave you this gift because He knew you would face many situations where you couldn't leave physically immediately, where you would have to stay for a time, where circumstances would force you to remain. So He gave you this spiritual emergency exit, the ability to leave without leaving, to be without being, to protect your essence while your body fulfills temporary obligations. It's a silent rebellion, a peaceful resistance, a way to maintain your inner freedom even when external circumstances seem to limit you. Protection number 13. God gave you the power to contradict yourself without guilt because your truth evolves. The world wants you to be consistent, predictable, to say today the same thing you said yesterday, to think tomorrow the same thing you think today. But God freed you from that prison. He gave you the blessing to change, to evolve, to contradict yourself when your soul grows. And this is a powerful protection against control because it means no one can lock you in a fixed identity, in a single version of yourself, in expectations based on who you were yesterday. You can change your mind and you owe no explanations. You can feel different today from what you felt yesterday, and it's okay. You can want something now and not want it tomorrow, and it's valid. Because God created you fluid like water, changeable like the sea, evolutionary like life itself. Those who try to control you get frustrated with this because they can't define you. They can't put you in a box. They can't predict your movements. But you're not confused, you're alive, you're not being inconsistent, you're growing, and God celebrates every time you break with the previous version of yourself to become who you really need to be. This protection keeps you in constant transformation and therefore in constant freedom. Protection number 12. God put in you a gentle way of breaking rules that no one can punish. Pisces, you're not a scandalous rebel, but you're a rebel nonetheless. God gave you this unique ability to bend rules, to find alternative paths, to move around limitations without making noise, without causing conflict, without attracting negative attention. It's a silent rebellion, elegant, almost invisible. You follow the rules in appearance, but in essence you live by your own inner law. And this protection makes you incredibly difficult to control because when someone tries to impose limits on you, you don't confront them directly. You simply find a way to flow around them. Like water that finds cracks in the most solid rock, you find spaces of freedom in the most rigid systems. God gave you this special wisdom to survive in a world that loves rules without losing your essence that loves freedom. You don't destroy the system, you simply don't let it destroy you. You don't fight against structures, you simply don't let them structure you. And you do it with such grace that many times they don't even realize you're not really obeying, that you're doing things your way while you smile and nod. Protection number 11. God made you capable of constantly reinventing yourself so no one can define you. One of the most frustrating protections for those who want to control you is this: you never stay the same. God created you in constant metamorphosis, always changing, always evolving, always becoming a new version of yourself. And this makes you impossible to capture, because the moment someone thinks they know you, they understand you, they know how to handle you, you're already a different person. You've left behind that old skin and been born again. It's like trying to catch a butterfly that changes shape in the air. God gave you this gift because He knew the world would try to label you, define you, limit you to a single identity. So He made you undefinable, unpredictable, eternally new. Your tastes change, your interests evolve, your priorities transform. And although others see it as instability, you know it's growth. It's God working in you, molding you, refining you, taking you to higher levels of consciousness and freedom. This constant reinvention keeps you out of reach of those who want to lock you in what you were, because you're already living in what you're becoming. Protection number 10. God connected you with a higher force that guides every step you take. Pisces. You're never alone in your decisions. You're never lost, even though it seems you have no direction. God put inside you a spiritual compass that always points toward your truth, toward your path, toward your purpose. It's a direct connection with the divine that guides you even when your mind doesn't understand where you're going. This protection makes you uncontrollable because you don't follow others' directions. You follow God's voice inside you. They can give you advice, they can tell you what to do, they can draw perfect plans for your life, but if your spirit feels that's not the path, you don't take it, not because you're rebellious, but because you trust God more than men. This divine connection is your beacon in darkness, your guide in confusion, your anchor in the storm. And although many times you've walked paths others didn't understand, you've arrived exactly where you needed to be, because God held your hand the whole time. This protection means your life has a divine director, and no one else can take that position. Not your parents, not your partner, not your boss, not society. Only God guides your ship, and only you can hear His instructions. Protection number 9. God gave you the courage to say no even though your heart is soft. There are those who see your sweetness and think they can take advantage of you, that they can manipulate you, that they can make you do what they want. But God protected you from that by giving you something powerful, the ability to say no firmly, even though you say it with a soft voice. You don't need to yell to defend your boundaries. You don't need to be aggressive to protect your space. You don't need to be cruel to reject what's not good for you. God taught you that gentleness and firmness can coexist, that you can be compassionate and still immovable in your decisions. This protection confuses people because they expect your kindness to be synonymous with weakness, that your compassion means they can walk all over you. But when they try to do it, they encounter a no that, although pronounced with love, is unbreakable. It's a no that comes from deep within your being, a no that God Himself backs up because He's protecting your peace, your energy, your mission. And although after saying no, you feel the need to explain, to justify, to soften, God reminds you that you owe nothing to anyone except honesty. And the truth is, your no is complete, is valid, is enough. Protection number 8. God taught you to connect with souls, not with social positions. The world tries to control you through hierarchies, through social structures, through expectations about who you should relate to according to your status, your age, your position. But God freed you from that prison. He gave you eyes that see souls, not titles, a heart that recognizes kindred spirits, not impressive resumes. This protection allows you to build your own tribe, your own chosen family, your own circle of people who truly understand you and love you for who you are, not for what you have or what you represent. And this makes you uncontrollable because your relationships aren't based on convenience or social obligation. They're based on real connection, on spiritual resonance, on true love. No one can use your relationships to manipulate you because you built them on foundations the world can't touch. They can try to separate you from those you love using arguments of convenience, of status, of what's appropriate. But if your soul recognized another soul, no argument in the world can break that. God gave you the freedom to love whom your spirit chooses to love. And that's one of the most precious and protected freedoms that exist. Protection number 7. God gave you the flexibility to change direction without warning when your spirit asks. There are people who live chained to their own plans, prisoners of their own promises, trapped on paths they no longer want to follow, but feel they must finish. God saved you from that prison. He gave you the blessing of being able to change your mind, your direction, your dream, the moment your soul tells you it's no longer the right path. This protection keeps you alive, keeps you authentic, keeps you free. Because you're not obligated to be who you promised to be if that person is no longer you. You're not forced to reach a destination you chose years ago if your heart now points to another place. God gave you divine permission to rewrite your story every time it's necessary. And although the world calls you inconsistent, although they say you don't finish what you start, although they criticize you for changing so much, God whispers to you that it's okay, that He created you fluid like water, adaptable like wind, free like the sea. This divine flexibility protects you from the prison of forced consistency, from the trap of promises made by an old version of yourself, from the suffering of living a life that no longer belongs to you. Protection number 6. God made you emotionally deep so you see what others don't see. Pisces, your emotional depth isn't a weakness, it's divine protection. God gave you the ability to feel so deep, so intense, so complete, that you can detect lies where others only see truth. You can perceive dangers where others only see opportunities. You can feel when something's wrong even though everything seems perfect on the surface. This extreme sensitivity is your most sophisticated defense system. It's like having an emotional earthquake detector that warns you before the ground shakes. While others need a building to fall on them to realize there were structural problems, you feel the first crack, the first tremor, the first sign that something's not right. And although many times you've wished not to feel so much, although you've cried asking to be less sensitive, the truth is God gave you exactly what you needed to survive in a world full of deceptions. Your emotional depth keeps you safe because you can't be easily deceived. You feel the truth beneath the words. You perceive the intentions beneath the actions, and that's a protection worth more than any physical armor. Protection number 5. God put in your soul the inability to follow orders your heart rejects. This is one of the most powerful and most misunderstood protections. Pisces, you simply can't obey something your soul feels is wrong. It doesn't matter who orders it, it doesn't matter how logical it sounds, it doesn't matter how much authority the person has. If your spirit says no, your whole being rebels. It's not stubbornness, it's divine integrity. God created you with an internal moral code so strong that it activates automatically when something goes against your spiritual truth. It's like a safety fuse that turns off when it detects danger to your soul. This protection has saved you from making terrible mistakes, from betraying yourself, from selling your soul for acceptance or temporary peace. You've lost jobs for not doing things they asked you and your heart rejected. You've ended relationships because they asked you to be someone you weren't. You've disappointed people who expected from you something your spirit couldn't give. And although those experiences were painful, God was protecting you. He was saving you from a life of lies, from an existence without authenticity, from a slow death of the soul. Your inability to obey blindly is your salvation. Protection number 4. God gave you love for the unpredictable that keeps you always moving. While others seek security in routine, in the predictable, in the controllable, God planted in your heart a secret love for mystery, for the unknown, for the unpredictable. This is a protection because it means you'll never stay trapped in a comfortable situation that kills your spirit. Your soul needs movement, change, surprise, and God put that desire there to keep you free. Every time life becomes too predictable, Something inside you becomes restless, pushes you to move, to change, to seek something new. And although others see it as instability, God sees it as obedience to your divine design. He created you to flow, not to stagnate, to explore, not to settle, to evolve, not to fossilize. This protection saves you from the spiritual death that comes from living the same life every day, from the prison of comfort many call success. Because you understand something deep, true security isn't in controlling the future, it's in trusting God while you surf the waves of the unknown. And that love for the unpredictable, that embrace of mystery, that peace in uncertainty is what keeps you eternally free. Protection number 3, God anchored you between art and spirituality, where control doesn't exist. Pisces, you have one foot in this world and another in dimensions most can't even imagine. God made you this way intentionally. He gave you access to realms of creativity, of spirituality, of imagination, where the rules of the physical world don't apply. And this is a powerful protection because it means you always have an escape, you always have a refuge, you always have a place where no one can follow you or control you. When this world becomes too hard, too logical, too limiting, you simply slip into that other world where your soul breathes free. It can be through art, music, writing, prayer, meditation, dreams, but you always have that secret door God put there specifically for you. Those who try to control you can't follow you to those places. They don't understand that language. They don't perceive those dimensions. And there, in that sacred space between the visible and invisible, you're completely free. God gave you this double citizenship, between earth and heaven, between matter and spirit, between the known and mystery. And as long as you have access to those higher realms, no one can lock you completely in this lower world. Protection number 2. God hid an unbreakable strength behind your soft appearance. Pisces, one of the most ingenious protections God gave you is this. You seem fragile, but you're unbreakable. Your soft exterior, your gentle voice, your compassionate heart, all that makes people underestimate your strength. And that underestimation is your advantage. Because while others see you as someone easy to dominate, you're standing on a base of spiritual steel forged in the fires of trials no one knows. You've survived storms that would have destroyed apparently stronger people. You've endured emotional pain that would have broken apparently harder spirits. You've cried oceans of tears, but you've kept going. And each tear, each pain, each blow has only made you stronger, wiser, more resilient. God put this hidden strength in you as protection against those who would try to take advantage of your kindness. Because when it's really necessary, when your spiritual survival is at stake, that strength emerges and surprises everyone. Suddenly, the soft Pisces becomes immovable. The gentle Pisces becomes unstoppable. The compassionate Pisces becomes fierce in defense of their freedom. And that transformation bewilders those who thought they could control you. God gave you the appearance of weakness as camouflage for your true power. Protection number 1. God made you symbol of the end and transcendence, so no one can lock you up. Pisces, this is the greatest, deepest, most significant protection of all. God didn't make you to be controlled because your purpose itself is to teach the world that control is an illusion. As the last sign of the zodiac, you represent the end of a cycle, the dissolution of all structures, the transcendence of all limitations. Your very essence is anti-control. Your nature is liberation. Your mission is to show there's something beyond the chains humanity puts on itself. God created you to flow, to dissolve, to transcend. He made you water in a world that tries to build walls. He made you spirit in a world obsessed with matter. He made you freedom in a world addicted to control. And that's why no one can dominate you. Because going against your nature would be going against the very purpose God gave you. Every time someone tries to control you and fails, they're learning a divine lesson. That true love doesn't control, that true spirituality doesn't limit, that freedom is the natural state of the soul. You exist to remind the world that in the end, everything must be released, that holding on is suffering, that letting go is wisdom, that flowing is living. And in that constant reminder is your greatest protection, because it means your freedom isn't just yours. It's a divine mandate, it's a sacred purpose, it's a universal truth that not even the universe itself can deny. Pisces, if you've made it this far, I want you to take a deep breath and let this truth penetrate your heart. You're not alone in your fight for freedom. God Himself fought that battle for you before you were born. He gave you these 20 divine protections, not as a casual gift, but as sacred tools to fulfill the mission only you can fulfill. Every time someone tried to control you and couldn't, it wasn't luck. It was God activating one of these protections. Every time you walked away from a situation that threatened your freedom, it wasn't cowardice. It was divine wisdom guiding you to where you truly belong. Every time you said no when everyone expected a yes, it wasn't selfishness. It was spiritual integrity protecting your purpose. You've been through so much, you've suffered so much, you've cried so much, precisely because your soul is too big, too free, too divine to fit in the boxes the world prepares. And although that path has been lonely, although many times you've felt you don't fit, although you've wished to be simpler, easier to understand, more like others, the truth is, God made you exactly as He needs you to be. Different, deep, free, and uncontrollable. Because the world needs people who remember there's another way to live. People who demonstrate that freedom is possible. People who teach with their own life that true love doesn't imprison, true faith doesn't limit, and true God doesn't control but liberates. Now tell me in the comments, which of these 20 divine protections have you felt strongest in your life? Which one made you cry because finally someone put into words what you've always felt but never been able to explain? Leave your date of birth. Tell me what country you're watching from and share your experience. I love reading each testimony because each one confirms these aren't just pretty words. They're divine truths manifesting in the real life of real people. If this message touched your heart, if you felt God was speaking directly to you through these words, share this video with other Pisces who need to hear it. Give it a like so YouTube shows it to more people who are looking for exactly this message, and subscribe to the channel, because every week I bring deep revelations about the gifts, the missions, and the protections God gave to each sign of the zodiac. Remember, Pisces, your freedom isn't a defect you must correct, it's a gift you must honor. Your depth isn't a burden you must lighten, it's a treasure you must protect. Your sensitivity isn't a weakness you must hide, it's a power you must use. God made you free because the world needs to see that freedom is possible, that the most beautiful cage is still a cage, that true love doesn't retain but liberates. That trusting God means releasing control and flowing with His perfect plan for your life. So stop apologizing for being who you are. Stop trying to fit in spaces that were never designed for you. Stop allowing others to make you feel your need for freedom is selfish or immature. It's divine, it's sacred, it's exactly how God wants you. See you in the next video where I'll continue revealing the deepest secrets God hid in each sign of the zodiac. Until then, may these 20 divine protections remind you every day that you're free, that you're loved, and that no one, absolutely no one, has the power to lock you up, because God Himself is your liberator. Blessings, Pisces. Keep flowing, keep shining, keep being that living reminder that the soul was created to be free.